All right. I just got a little bit of teenage attitude going on. Don't mind it. Just to be skeptical, a little skepticism on authority figures, because you don't want to follow blindly, right? I'm very helpful, right? They want to know stuff about me. I'm very open to talk about it. But you still want to be skeptical, and you want skepticism on authority figures at all times. Parents, older siblings, everyone. When they have a high rank over you, you want to show skepticism. And how I do that is show teenage attitude. Simple. It's a little teenage attitude like, no, mom, I'm not going to take out the trash. You know what I mean? Like, no, Professor Castor, I don't want to do your homework. You know what I mean? Just a little teenage attitude thrown in there. Just to get the brain to shake up and not just follow a straight line, right? If it's a line, I want it to be shaky. Right? I don't want it to be a straight line. To shake up my brain, use all parts of my brain. Don't just follow blindly, right? Like, hey, think about it. Is this a good person? Is this the right thing to do right now? Right? Min was sleeping. You just woke him up. It's college. You get woken up at awkward times. Anyways, so yeah. So don't mind my teenage attitude. It's cute. It's research, right? So all my actions is research. So I've been doing research since I was in preschool. I can recall. I can recall clearly all of my research, all of my important research. I look at the world through observation, like through a microscope. I'm always, putting in one slide, testing it out, see what happens. Putting in another slide, testing it out, see what happens. So I don't just live life. I'm always doing research. I'm always testing. And the teenage attitude is another testing. I'm showing Dan Castor some attitude, and I'm seeing how he responds, right? And I'm seeing that a lot of people like it, and I continue to do it. I don't know why, but if you like it, it's like a dog. A dog's like, good boy, good girl. It continues to do it the more you reaffirm that action. So they like my teenage attitude. I just keep doing it. See where it takes me. Where it's going, I don't know. It's still new. I have a lot of research going on that I don't know about, but I am researching. But yeah, in preschool, I remember I only spoke Vietnamese because my mom spoke Vietnamese to me. And my siblings, they didn't speak enough English, so I only picked up Vietnamese. So you're around, 3 years old, 4 years old in preschool? So I only spoke Vietnamese, and I was playing in the sandbox. I was playing with the sticky tennis ball by myself. And I remember a Vietnamese teacher asking me, do you want to go to the bathroom in English? I was just quiet, shaking my head, like, I don't know what you're saying. And she's like, cần đi đái không? Do you need to go to the bathroom? Cần đi đái không? And I was like, oh yeah. And then I went to the bathroom. So I recall that vividly. I recall that. I recall little research moments like that where it's like, interesting. I didn't think anything of it, but I can recall it. And when I can recall it, I know that my brain is researching at the time. And in preschool, we pick up language really fast, so I picked up English really fast. And I would observe. I was always observing in preschool. When my teacher would read about I think it was a whale that got caught in the Bay Area, and there was a book on it. I'm like, how big are whales to get stuck? I'm thinking this in like 3-4 years old, right? I'm like, measurement, right? I'm thinking measurement at 3-4 years old. Like, how big is this thing? I don't know what a Bay Area is. I don't know what that is. I'm too young. But how are you so big, right? I see the picture of a whale. How are you so big and you get caught, stuck, right? So that's what I wasn't thinking that intensely, but I'm like, just loosely, right? Like, how how big is a whale, right? In comparison to getting stuck, like how big is this thing? And I love whales ever since. Ever since that book, I love whales, and I love oceanic creatures. After that, I love seahorses. Because in school, we were studying tide pools, and we had to pick a I think it was fourth grade. It was science class, and 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 we had to choose a tide pool animal, and I chose a seahorse. I did research on seahorse. I love seahorses ever since, and and we went to science camp in sixth grade, and we had to kiss banana slugs. I was too shy, so I didn't kiss a banana slug. But I saw my friends and stuff do it. I might have done it. I'm not that shy. I'm not shy. I'm more like skeptical. I'm like, I don't know if my lips. I want my lips on a slug. It's more like that. My internal talk is really funny. I'm not shy. My internal talk's like skeptical. It's like, I don't know. That's my internal talk. Like, I don't know if I want to kiss a slug. I want to kiss the perfect girl. I'm like Kimberly and Kinsey and Carly. My lips belong to the perfect girl. Losers, absolute losers. So yeah, Kimberly and Carly, like, we all have a type of autism. I love my autism, right? So another story was when my sister, again, I'm doing research, right? I never say something and like I mean it, right? It's never like that. I say it and I see the response. Do I continue this behavior or not? Right? I see other people do it and I'm like, I want to try that out, right? So my sister wore shorts. It's really short, right? And I can recall, right? Meaning it's an important research. The brain's like, put this in important. I can recall her coming down the stairs and I'm like, shorts. And then I'm like, I got an idea. That's how I think. That's my internal talk. I don't care 100% of the time until I have an idea. I'm like, oh, I've seen guys be overprotective. I'm not. I love girls in short shorts. I watch porn. I love girls, right? I don't want something done to me that I don't want done. Now, I don't do to others what I don't want done to me. I learned that by teenage years. I learned that. So I have all these rules already on how to live, but I want to break my rule, right? I'm not the overprotective type. I'm just not. I watch a lot of porn. I'm not overprotective, right? But I wanted to try it. I wanted to feel what it's like to be a loser. Because I see guys overprotective of girls. I'm like, those are losers. Absolute losers. But I wanted to try it. Because I'm a guy. Right? I'm like, I got an idea. Your shorts are too short. Go change it. I remember just the attitude. Too short. Go change it. All right? And the research ends. Right? Now, I'm looking for the response. Right? So you have an hypothesis. You test it out, and you see the results. So I'm like, man, I don't like how that feels. I'm too stern. I feel like a loser. I didn't like it. I stopped. That was the last time I ever did it. Just wanted to try it once, right? And did I apologize to my sister? No, it's just my sister. I don't care. I do research on everyone, and they don't even know. I do research on Dan Casser, everything. Everything. Like, I know you know about my self-portrait. I hear you talking about it all the time. Right? So I just keep it to myself. Testing you. right? So I'm like, huh, you know about it, but you're not talking about it. Interesting. Very interesting. I didn't think there was like anything shady behind it. I'm just talking about like human to human. Like, you must be really shy. You must be really shy. Cause my friends hint stuff all the time. Like, we grow up where you're like, oh, she likes you, but she's not saying it, right? We get those hints, right? So I'm like, huh, you're still talking about it. You follow me around. Dan Casser follows me around, just like Alex, right? He follows me around the art department. When it came time to my thesis, he came back, right? He was doing research, and he came back to teach the senior class on their thesis. I'm like, okay, now you come back? Okay. Like, I see him around, but like, okay, now you want to teach the class. Okay. I'll show you what I can do. That's when I start cranking it up. Right? They're like, it's always like, oh, Dan Castle, he's never around, but he used to be the chair. Brett DeBoer is the chair now, but Dan Castle's doing research, right? It's like, oh, so he's the top dog. Okay. I was just messing around with Lucinda Castor and stuff. And then when Dan was like, yeah, I'm teaching the senior class, working on the thesis, I was like, okay, it's time to crank it up. I'll show you what I can do. That self-portrait was not a fluke. Right? So that's when I stopped messing around with paint. I stopped experimenting, and I really refined my skill. All right, I'll show you what I can do. So I painted larger. It wasn't some small experimental paints anymore. I went full on. I'll show you. I know contemporary art. I know about shock value. I know about shocking the audience. Boom. The Thing. I went big on it. Right? And not only that, I spent a lot of time, and I made sure Dan Castor can see me spending a lot of time on it. Meaning, I ain't messing around. This is full-on research. You're watching me do a full-on research. Right? I'm studying Takashi Murakami, a new contemporary artist, an Asian contemporary artist. Asian. Right? You need to pick up on these clues. He's a new, not an old. I'm not doing research on Da Vinci. He's old. Takashi Murakami is a new contemporary artist, and I'm doing a contemporary painting on a large canvas meant to shock you. I'm showing off. I'm showing off what I learned from Dr. Schleier's class. I may have failed her class and taken it twice, but now I know it. Right? Like Nicole, yeah, I failed it twice, but I'll get it eventually. I'll get it eventually. Just give me time. So, I went big. I went contemporary. I'm studying someone new, and I'm really studying him. I'm not taking pieces from him. I'm really doing what he does and studying the artist. Just like you study Da Vinci, I'm studying Takashi Murakami. I'm studying him. So I spent all that time on that one painting, and I was like, yeah, man, I don't have time for something else. And Dan was like, all right, I see you working. You know what I mean? So that was that. And in high school, I would test my friends out. I liked Moulin Rouge, right? The movie with Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman. I love that movie. As a boy, teenager, 17 years old. Loved it. Right? In my house, we love musicals, right? We listen to Disney music. We listen to music before we fall asleep. We love music, right? And I love the music in it. And I told my friend, he was semi-popular. He was a guy's guy into sports. And I was like, and he downloads music, and I'm like, hey man, can you download me Moulin Rouge? And here's the list, right? He's like, I'm trying to be sly, but I'm like, here, can you download this for me? And he's like, he looked at it, and I said, no questions, man. No questions. And he's like, interesting, no questions, huh? Because it was the Moulin Rouge. It wasn't rap music. It wasn't, R&B, and that's what kids were listening to. It was the Moulin Rouge, full on, large scale film production. Moulin Rouge. They're kids. They didn't know nothing about that. So I was testing them out. Like, not ready for the future, right? In our family, we talk about stuff like that. We're like, oh, heck yeah, Moulin Rouge. Yeah, we love Moulin Rouge. We love Disney musicals. We talk about it openly. And I would test it out in real life, out in public, and they are not ready for the future. I'm like, oh, y'all not ready. Like, we talk about it openly at home, and y'all can't even talk about it in public. Y'all not ready for the future. You know what I mean? So that one friend eventually didn't get it for me, so I asked another Cambodian friend, Rithi, and he ended up getting it for me. He was my breakdance partner. Like, we would breakdance, and he gets music. He's like, yeah, you need the right music to dance to. So he's like, yeah, I'll get it for you. So I'm like, he gets music, so. So I would do a lot of research, man. I would do a lot of I would test on humans. Test on my siblings. I test on my friends. I test on my professors. I've been doing research since I was in preschool. Nothing new for me, man. Nothing new for me. I remember I just observed. I would always observe, and I remember in 4th grade, I was just thinking, like, man, if the world's relying on us, I was thinking to myself, if the world's relying on us, we're in trouble. Because we're the future, right? The kids. I meant our generation. If the world's relying on our generation, I've seen our generation, I'm like, we're in trouble. Because they're not that bright. I'm smart, right? I always knew I was smart. I'm like, yo, I'm really smart. But if you're relying on them, like, you're in trouble, man. And so I basically knew by 4th grade what I had to do. Right? So I've been doing research up until 4th grade, and by 4th grade I was like, yeah, I know what to do. If the opportunity comes, right? So I'm still doing research. I'm still slacking off in class. Remember, until I met Dan Kasser, I wasn't trying. I wasn't trying with Lucinda and her watercolors, and it was not that I'm not trying. I'm still experimenting. Like I said about the loose, keep it loose. I keep it very, very loose. Like vagina loose. You know what I mean? Keep it loose. I do not specialize until the moment comes. Until that moment comes, keep it loose. Study as much as you can. Experiment, mess around, mess it up, glitch it up. Do not specialize until that moment comes. You'll know when it comes. You will know. So I've been experimenting, researching. By 4th grade, I'm like, I know what I have to do, but the opportunity is not showing itself. So I'm like, put it on the back of my mind, don't worry about it. So I'm still experimenting, like fighting. I'm fighting in school and fighting my brother, and doing all these things, and now I'm testing out dating, right? I like Jessica in 5th grade. I like Brittany in 6th grade, right? Oh, like we touch hands, and I'm like, woo, you know what I mean? Little stuff, man. Like, ooh, I like that. I like that feeling. It's like I like that feeling of touching someone I like. Right? And I remember not liking touching someone I don't like. There was a girl that picked her nose in like 2nd grade and stuff. And I'm like, ugh, don't touch me, you nose picker. I pick my nose all the time. I'm just very judgmental. I have that attitude. But yeah, so up until high school, right, I was still very much experimenting. Remember, keep it loose. I would not specialize until the moment came. You will know when your moment comes. I've realized that with my brain. You will know when the moment comes. It sticks in your brain. It stands out. You will know. So by high school, I'm like, high school's a joke. Like, I wasn't even thinking about college, but high school's a joke, man. I could do this in my sleep. You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. I was cocky, man. I was like, I was a vagina out there, man. I was some titties. I was cocky, man. I'm like Catherine and her titties, man. Cocky. Absolutely cocky. Titties cocky. So I'm like, man, high school ain't nothing. I tested you out with the Moulin Rouge. You're not ready for this. I tested you out. I tested the most popular kid. Sports. You're not ready for this. You froze. You ain't ready for this. Understand? I test out the top tier. That's what I do. So I tested them out. I'm like, nope, high school ain't ready. Did I test Alex out? Alex and I weren't like, we had classes together, but we weren't like, we just like come across each other. We just like run across each other. We didn't have anything that related for us to, because my one friend with the sports, we were both into sports. Alex wasn't that into sports. He was into his grades. That was the thing. He wasn't that into sports. I play sports all the time. Play with my cousins. I'm all about sports, right? So me and that guy, we had sports in common, right? Me and Alex, we didn't have anything in common. He was into grades. I wasn't into grades. I'm not into specializing too soon. I'm not into it. So Alex is all about like, man, get your grades up, get your grades up. I'm like, nah, it ain't happening. I'm not listening to you. Who are you? I'm not listening to you. You have not shown me class president potential. You have not shown me anything. I'm not listening to you. You have not shown me any talent. You show me good grades, but not talent. I'm talented. How do I know? I've been playing sports my whole life. I can make the catches. I can learn. I can specialize and be great. You have not shown anything in high school. You're just a kid with good grades. That's not talent. So I tested my friend who plays sports, who enjoys sports with me. So you both understand how hard it is to nourish your talents, right? And I tested him out, and he wasn't ready. Right, this guy knows stats. Him and Bobby were like, they would go over stats, Jordan stats. They know all the stats, right? So I test them out, just like I test Huang out, right? When me and Huang was fighting, I started laughing, acting. He wasn't ready. He got shocked. All the boys, they're like, whenever Min does something new, it's like, that's new. They get shocked. I test them like, Huang ain't ready. He ain't ready for the future. I act. It's what I do. So I test the boy out, not ready. So I gave up on high school. I'm like, nah, y'all not ready for this. But when everyone started going to college, I'm like, what is college? Man, holla at your boy. Keeping secrets, man. I mean, I was doing my own research, but my own fault, but whatever. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, y'all keeping secrets, man. My sister didn't tell me about it. My teachers didn't tell me about college. I mean, there were like hints about college, but they didn't explain it. No one told me anything about college. I'm like, y'all keeping secrets from me, man. I was mad. My own friends keeping secrets from me, man. There was no talk during junior year. Hey, Min, what college you going to? Hey, Min, have you heard that I'm working my butt off to go to college? They didn't give me none of that. Even though they were passerby friends, they were not talking about it. I should have heard about it. By junior year, I should have heard, Hey man, did you take the SATs? Hey man, did you take... By junior years, you're taking the SATs and stuff. I didn't hear nothing. I felt lied to. I thought you were my friends. Right? So, with senior year and everyone's talking about college stuff, I was pissed off. Not ashamed. Not ashamed. I'm very talented. I can go 1 year. I can show you what I can do. I'm not ashamed of myself. I'm not ashamed of my research. I'm not ashamed of keeping it loose and experimenting. I'm not ashamed of myself. But I am pissed off. How dare you keep that from me? I'm supposed to be your friend. So you don't know the definition of a friend. I'll show you what a definition of a friend is. If you're going to walk around dumb like that, talking about good grades is the way to go, I'll show you what real talent looks like. You're dumb. You don't keep stuff like that from your friends. You don't keep your friends dumb. So you don't know? I'll show you what I can do. 1 year, Dean's List, I'm ready to go. I'm pissed off. So I'm looking at Pacific's application. Pissed off. I feel betrayed by everyone. You think that I don't have the talent to do what you could do? Get good grades? I'll show you what really matters. Friendship. I've been working on that my whole life. I've been putting myself out there and no one reciprocated. I'll show you what research I've been doing. So I looked at the application. I filled it out. Pissed off. Read it again. Read it again. I'm pissed off. Now I'm looking, what else can I do? After I put my letter in and my grades, my essay and my grades in, I'm like, what else can I ruin? I ain't done with y'all. I said in 4th grade, I'm going to ruin this world. I said it, and I'm going to do it. So I looked at the application. And I said, what else can I ruin? That idea came to me. It's genius. I'll put my self-portrait in. Let's see how you deal with that.